Hello, so in today's video I'm going to be doing a book review of One by One by Ruth Ware. Ruth Ware is one of my favourite authors, to be honest. I've read 3 other books by her. I've read In a Dark Dark Wood, The Woman in Cabin 10 and Turn of the Key, and then this is the 4th book I've read by her, and I had high hopes for it because I enjoyed the other books. My favourite book of hers is probably Turn of the Key, and it seems to be one of her most popular books. So I was really excited for this one to come out. However, when I looked on Goodreads, it did have a few mixed reviews. There were quite a lot of people who liked Ruth Ware books saying they were disappointed by this one. But I have to say I was not one of those people. I really did enjoy this book. This book, I saw someone describe it as a whodunit turned thriller at the end. And I have to agree, I did feel it was that kind of a story. The story is set in the French Alps in a chateau. This app company called Snoop has come on like one of those business retreat trips kind of a thing to this French chateau, and there's 8 co-workers within this business, and they've come to this chateau to make a pretty big decision about the company, on whether or not they're going to sell the company. And the group of people, the group of co-workers is split between those who want to sell it and those who don't want to sell it. So right off the bat there's tension between this group of people. And then you also have 2 of the workers at the chateau who are also in this book. And the main characters are a woman called Liz and a woman called Erin. And Liz is an ex-co-worker of Snoop, but she's come on this retreat because she is one of the shareholders in the company, so she is one of the people who has to make the decision whether or not to sell or keep the company. If they sell it, she's going to make a ton of money, but she also has this kind of loyalty to one of the men in the company who doesn't want to sell. So throughout this story you get her being torn 2 ways, and she has you know, a lot of conflict within this book. And then the other main character is Erin, who is the hostess of the chateau, and you come to like her. She's quite a level-headed person. I do have to say, one of the criticisms I saw for this book was that the characters didn't really have much development, and they're a bit one-dimensional. There wasn't much to the characters, which I do actually agree with. Basically within this story they're all, like I said, these people, these 8 co-workers and the 2 people who work at the chateau become trapped through an avalanche happening, and then they get trapped in this setting, and slowly, one by one, these people from the app company are being killed off. You don't know who's killing them or why, and that slowly gets revealed throughout the story. A lot of people said that they saw the killer coming. I actually didn't until probably nearing the end of the book, and then I was like, oh, that makes so much sense. But I was just submerged in the mystery of it all. I really enjoyed it. Obviously it's set like in this snowy setting, and I was reading it in the UK last month. It was snowing here, so I was reading it whilst it was snowing, so it had a really nice like cold atmosphere to this book. You know, it's one of those books where, one of those thrillers where you can become quite detached to it, because like I said, the characters in this book, and because there's 8 of them as well, it does centre more around the 2 main characters, Liz and Erin. But the rest of them, the rest of the people in this app group called Snoop company, like I didn't really care for them. Like when they started getting killed off, I didn't really feel like anything for them really, because we didn't know much about them, and much all about their personality styles, or like I said, it just didn't really get too in depth into their characters. Even the 2 main characters, really you didn't get much of a backstory. Erin had the most character development, the hostess, because you're seeing, like, it goes a bit back into her past and why she works at the chateau. And she has a few secrets that come out later in the book, and you know, her view on these people who work in the company, we're kind of seeing it from her view, and then Liz's view from being inside the company. So overall, I did actually really enjoy this. It was pretty fast paced. I think the fact that there wasn't much character development was because the story was kind of moving along fairly quickly. You know, there's quite a few people to kill off. There's like 8 people to kill off in this book, so that was fun. And yeah, it just had a nice cold, creepy vibe. It was kind of like a cold, detached vibe to this story, but I did like it. Like I said, it's not my favourite. My favourite is Turn of the Key, which seems to be a lot of people's favourite. Turn of the Key or Mrs. Westerweir, The Death of Mrs. Westerweir by Ruth Ware. I haven't read that one yet. That's on my list to read. But I did enjoy this. I think if you're a big fan of Ruth Ware and you liked all her other stories, then you probably would like this one. Another criticism I saw about this book is about the app company. So the app in this book that this company created is called Snoop, and it's basically a music app where you can spy on other people's music tastes. So, and it's like a live app. So say you're listening to a specific song, you pin this on your app, and then anyone from around the world can listen, also like snoop on your music style, so they can listen to the music with you whilst you're listening to it, but it's anonymous. So you can't see who's listening to the music with you, and obviously then when you stop listening to the music cuts off for them. I thought it was actually quite an interesting idea for an app. The criticism that I saw was like, this is kind of like a stupid app. It was like unrealistic, but to me it just kind of felt like almost an Instagram type of a thing, but for music, and it's anonymous. So I actually thought it was an interesting idea for an app. But then I'm into social media kind of things, and for those people who aren't really into social media, you might think the app is silly or whatever, or don't see the point in it. But for those who are into social media, I think you would kind of get why the app is interesting, if that makes sense. So yeah, not much else to say other than it was a good kind of whodunit story. And yeah, I'm looking forward to picking up some more of her books. If you have any recommendations of her books, then let me know. Let me know what your favourite Ruth Ware book is. Like I said, mine so far is Turn of the Key. I've done a review on that, and I did actually really like The Woman in Cabin 10, which was, I feel like, one of her more criticised books. But I know she's written a few others that I haven't read yet, so let me know your thoughts down below. Like I said, when I looked on Goodreads, it was very much hit or miss. It was people either like 5 stars who are big Ruth Ware fans, or people who were like, a lot of people seem to DNF this book. Yeah, so a lot of people DNF'd it, or it was like 1 to 2 stars. So it was like a real big, either you really liked it or you really didn't. I gave it a 4-star because, like I said, for the most part I liked it. I don't know if that's just because I was reading it whilst it was snowing here, so it was and then obviously this is set around skiing and snow in French Alps, so I don't know if that added to the enjoyment of the book for me. But yeah, overall positive review. I really liked it. And that's all I really have to say. So leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. And as always, thank you for watching. Until next time, bye guys.